Okay, it is February 27th, and I'm sitting on my bathroom floor waiting. I just took a pregnancy test. So it is laying on the counter over there, and I'm supposed to wait 3 minutes. My heart's beating so fast. Okay, it's been 3 minutes. Oh my God. Oh my God. I knew it. I knew it. Surprise! I am pregnant. As you can tell from the first clip of this video, I did get my reaction on camera whenever I took my pregnancy test on February 27th. And I did make a post on my community tab a few weeks ago telling you all that we were expecting. But if you didn't see that post, this next part is going to come as even more of a surprise. But we are expecting twins. I know we are still a little bit in shock ourselves, so very in love already, but definitely was not expecting that whenever we went for my first ultrasound. So I did find out that I was pregnant on February 27th. I did tell Kenny that same day. And then we didn't tell anybody else because we didn't want to share it until I'd had my ultrasound, because I found out very early whenever I took a pregnancy test. I was only about 4 weeks pregnant at that time, because they count it from the day of your last cycle, and at that point it had been about 4 weeks. So we had our first ultrasound on March the 18th, which is when we found out that there were twins. The lady that was doing our ultrasound, very calmly as she was going through everything, said, "Well, it looks like y'all are having twins." And I felt like I was just watching her in slow motion, or that, I was watching somebody else's life unfold in front of me, because it was just so unexpected. She did ask if twins ran in our family, and they do not, especially not in our immediate family. If we have any sets of twins on either side of our families, they are, distant relatives. They also asked if we were taking fertility treatments or anything like that, because sometimes that can result, in multiples in a pregnancy, and we were not. So definitely a complete shock, not expecting it, but very, very sweet blessings. If I didn't already believe that God's timing is definitely not ours, but it is always perfect, I absolutely believe it with every fiber of my being now. I would like to share a little bit about our journey. I've never shared this on my channel before, but I just felt like this would be a good time to share it, just to, share with you how grateful we are for these blessings. But when I tell you our story, you will understand just how incredibly special this blessing is. If you happen to be new to my channel or you don't know about my family, I've been married to my husband Kenny for almost 10 years. We'll be married 10 years in December, and we have a little boy named Rowdy who turned 4 in December. So he will be almost 5 by the time the twins are due. I am due in October, and I'm praying that they will make it to October. So I would truly appreciate all prayers that you have, that you would like to send up for us on this journey. I would be so incredibly grateful for that, for my health and the health of our precious babies, that they can stay in and grow as long as possible. I want nothing more for them to be healthy. We don't know the genders at this time. We will be finding out. And I just want them to be healthy, and that is the most important thing to me and Kenny both. Whenever we got married, I was still in college, and so we were married for a few years before I finished college and got my first teaching job. So we did not try to have kids right away. So we had been married for about 2.5 years before we decided to start trying to have a family. And it was a very, very long, very hard process of that. We definitely walked through the trenches of infertility for almost 3 years with Rowdy. We did go to fertility specialist. I never had IVF. I don't know if you are familiar with fertility or infertility or any of those treatments or anything. I won't go into detail, but just know that we didn't go the route of IVF. We did a few other procedures and medications and things for a few years, and it was an extremely difficult time in our lives, emotionally, financially, just all involved. It was a very difficult road. Infertility is something that I wouldn't wish on anyone. It is one of the hardest, if not the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life. And there was a time that I didn't think that we would be able to have any children. And I'm going to try really hard to get through this without getting emotional, because this is a very happy announcement, but there has been lots and lots of heartache leading to this point throughout our fertility journey. So we did, for multiple reasons, decide to stop going to the fertility specialist in December of 2019. I had gotten to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. Like I said, emotionally, the emotional toll that takes on a person is something I can't explain if you've never been through it or you don't know someone who is going through it. And so me and Kenny were both in agreement that we weren't going to seek fertility treatment anymore at that point. And then 2020 came, and we all know what happened in 2020. The pandemic and the world kind of shut down in March. We are both educators, and so we went to school on a Monday, and then that Wednesday found out that after spring break we would not be returning for the rest of the school year. So that was a very trying time, as I'm sure it was for all of you as well. 2020 was definitely a hard year in a lot of ways. We definitely went through it that year as well. So at this point, we had not been seeking any fertility treatment for a few months. And the beginning of May of that year, I decided to take a pregnancy test because my cycle was a little bit late. That was kind of uncommon for me, but it kind of varied from month to month. I did find out throughout our infertility journey that I do have PCOS, which is called, it stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. You can look it up. There are lots of different factors and side effects that play a part in that, and infertility is one of those things, as well as hormonal things, ovarian cyst, lots of things. Like I said, I won't go into all the details, but I do have that. And so I decided to take a pregnancy test on May the 4th of 2020, and it immediately showed positive. And I had taken so many pregnancy tests before then, and so I was obviously very nervous to take it. Didn't have any kind of expectation or hopefulness because I'd never received a positive pregnancy test before, but it immediately said positive. And that was May the 4th of 2020. I went to the doctor the next day, and it was confirmed at the doctor that I was pregnant. And again, this was in 2020 in the pandemic. Kenny was not allowed to go to the doctor with me, so I did go by myself, and found out that I was pregnant with Rowdy. So you can imagine our complete shock and just full of questions, full of thankfulness, but full of questions that we had gone through, seeking fertility treatments and specialists for 2.5 years prior to this, with no luck of becoming pregnant. And then, one day just became pregnant by the grace of God. And we ended up with our precious little Rowdy. So Rowdy was born on December of 2020. And whenever he was about 1.5 years old, maybe a little over 1.5 years old, we decided to start trying again. I did come off my birth control medicine in August, and I got pregnant in November of 2022, which again was very shocking to me that it happened so quickly, because we had, gone through so many years of not being able to become pregnant. And so I found out about the middle of November of 2022 that I was pregnant. I did go to the doctor. It was confirmed at the doctor. And then about a week and a half after that, I very heartbreakingly had a miscarriage. We had not even shared with our family at that point that I was pregnant yet because I had not had an ultrasound or anything. And so I was probably about 5.5 or 6 weeks along. And that whole time in itself was extremely difficult. I won't go into all the details, but it was a very traumatic experience, and obviously a very heartbreaking experience for me and Kenny. And it's something I pray that you never have to go through, or someone that you love, because it truly broke our hearts. And so for a while after that, we just kind of left it, in God's hands, and I never did get pregnant. About a year later, we did decide to I didn't go back to a fertility specialist, but we did decide to take some fertility medication. I did, just through my local OBGYN office. Clomid, I think, is what they prescribed me, or something, some fertility medication such as that. And I did that for several months. You had to take it for so many days, certain times of your cycle, and it was not successful. And so after I did that for 3 months, it made me feel really bad. I did not like the way that the medication made me feel, and we decided to stop. Again, it was just very heartbreaking and emotional every month when I realized that I was not pregnant. So I, about a year ago, came to the realization that Rowdy may be our only child that we ever had. And I had come to terms with that. While I always wanted to have more children and I wanted Rowdy to have a sibling, I was so incredibly thankful for him, that he was healthy, because there are so many people I know who would make great parents and would not been blessed with a child. My heart goes out for you, and I pray for you, because I absolutely understand what it's like to be there. So we had just come to terms with the fact that Rowdy may be our only child. And so here we are, present day, and I can't explain the feeling I had at the end of February. Like I said, I don't want to share too much information, but I really was not late on my cycle. It was about the time that it should be starting. But I just had a feeling, and I can't explain it. I had the same feeling with the baby that we miscarried in November. I knew that I was pregnant before I took a pregnancy test. And I'd not even shared with Kenny that I felt this way. I didn't even tell him I was going to get a pregnancy test. I just went on my own one day and got it. I know this is getting kind of chatty, but I just wanted to kind of share our backstory of our incredibly difficult road before we got to this point. I just thought it was important for you to know, not only is this a blessing, but just for us, how much of a shocking blessing that this is. So I took the pregnancy test on February 27th, and immediately it was positive. I think it said you had to wait 3 minutes, and I think it made a little noise, and it had not even been a minute. I did wait 3 minutes. I wouldn't even look at it. It was laying on the counter, and I was sitting on the floor by my bathtub, which I think I shared in the clip that I shared at the beginning of this video. And I was shocked. I wasn't shocked that it said pregnant. I was shocked that I was pregnant, if you understand what I'm saying. Because like I said, I can't put into words the feeling that I had. I just knew something was different. And, whenever you go to the doctor, they start counting your 40 weeks from the day of your last cycle, which at that time mine was January the 25th. And so at this point, I would only be about 4 weeks pregnant. And I called the doctor, and I went that day, and it was confirmed at the doctor as well, almost immediately, that my pregnancy test was positive. So I did share with Kenny that day. I didn't get his reaction on camera, but I told him that someone had left something for him in a white bag, and I just had my pregnancy test in there. And obviously he was completely shocked, you know, and it was just a sweet moment that we shared, just the two of us. But so I went to the doctor that day, and it was confirmed. And then when I had to go back in a few days and meet with the nurse that you sit down with, and she does all your paperwork and gives you your due date, which at that time she told me that my due date was October the 31st. And then they were going to schedule my first ultrasound appointment. I had blood work and all that stuff. And usually they don't do your first ultrasound until you're 8 to 12 weeks. But I did tell her a little bit about our history, and I said, I understand that you can't do them too early, but I would request as early as possible to have an ultrasound if I could do that. She was very sweet and worked with me. And so when I had my first ultrasound, I was about 7.5 weeks. And that's when we found out that there were two blessings. And I told Kenny that I felt like God was blessing us with the baby, the second baby that we always wanted, and also blessing us for the one that we lost. I'm sorry, I did not want to get emotional, but it isn't emotional. It's a very thankful emotion. So we did tell our immediate family that night, and I am going to include a few clips at the end of this video of us sharing with some of our close family members. We did FaceTime a lot of family members. I don't have any footage of that, but we did share with them, and then I shared with, you know, some close friends, and we shared on our personal social medias towards the end of the week. So as of today, the day that I'm filming this is March the 28th. I am 9 weeks pregnant today, and my app that I downloaded, like a what to expect when you're expecting app, and the babies are the size of green olives. So I will go back in a few weeks. They did tell me that with twins, every time I go, I will have an ultrasound, which makes me have a peace of mind, because I am still early into my pregnancy, but I am a true believer that prayer is very, very powerful. I am humbly asking all of you to pray for me and for these sweet babies, for our health, and for God to just see us through. I believe that, you know, He blessed us with these precious babies for a reason, and I am forever grateful to Him. Rowdy is so excited to become a big brother. He says it's a brother and a sister. So we will hopefully find out their gender maybe in the next month and a half. I'm not exactly sure. I may find out a little bit earlier than I did with Rowdy, because they didn't do an ultrasound every time with him. I did find out through an early blood test, and then it was confirmed with my next ultrasound that he was a boy. So me having more ultrasounds, I may know sooner. I'm not sure, but I do plan to share all of that on my channel. I'm not going to have every video be baby related, but I am planning to sprinkle them in monthly. So I would love it if you would love to be a part of that journey, but I do want to preface it by saying if anything I'm going to share in the video is going to be about the babies or pregnancy or anything, I will put that in the title, because the last thing I want to do is be a trigger for someone that is difficult to watch pregnancy updates and things, because I promise I understand. I know how painful it can be whenever you are in the trenches of infertility. You can be happy for people, you can love them and be so happy for them that they are pregnant, and also have your heart broken at the same time. So I will absolutely disclose if that video is going to be about pregnancy, because I would never want to cause pain to anyone, because believe me, if anyone understands, I understand. I know how hard it can be. So I will always share if I'm going to have anything pregnancy related in those videos. And I did also make a community post, I think it was one day this week, that I am just going to go down to one video a week on Sundays. I may have some extra videos sprinkled in depending on what we have going on at the time. Right now I post on Sunday and Wednesday, but we are coming up on end of the year things at work. April and May are very, very busy at work, and I'm a library media specialist in a public school, if you don't know or didn't know that. And so I already knew I was going to be very busy this time of year. And then coming up into the summer, this will be Rowdy's last summer before he starts school. He will start pre-K in August, and I want to be able to enjoy every minute with him. And this was something I had been considering before I even found out I was pregnant, was going down to one video a week in the summer. But now, especially with everything going on at the end of the year, also wanting to enjoy the summer with him. And I'm very tired. I'm still in that, very much in that fatigue stage of pregnancy. I am hoping that in the second trimester, I might get a little bit of my energy back, but I am very tired in the afternoons, and I just don't want to push myself too hard or be stressed because I don't have 2 videos for that week. So thank you for your grace and patience with me throughout this. And then I do plan for the foreseeable future to share 1 video a week. And maybe this summer I can share some week in the life. So it may be longer videos, multiple days combined into 1 video, but just so I only have to focus on editing and posting 1 video. I will share extra videos throughout if I have time or feel like it that week. But for now, just expect to see a video on Sundays for my regular posting schedule. I'm sorry if the lighting is kind of weird. It is kind of late, and I have not got to film in front of my new wall in our bedroom yet. The boys are in the living room watching TV, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video filmed because I want to share it on this Sunday coming up in a few days. We've actually spent almost the entire day at a car dealership. I did upgrade my car to a bigger mom car. We got the Kia Telluride X-Line, and I will include some pictures right here of us picking up the car today. We are so excited about it. I love it. It has a 3rd row seat, and the captain seat's in the middle, which was what I needed. I previously had a Chevy Equinox, and we just knew it was not going to be big enough for our precious growing family. And so we decided to go ahead and purchase a bigger vehicle. So we were so excited about that. But we have been at the dealership for several hours today, and it's a little over an hour away from our home. So it is late at night. I am tired. By this time of the night, I'm usually, curled up on the couch trying to rest, but I wanted to film this video. So I am sorry if the lighting is kind of weird because, like I said, it is dark outside, but I wanted to sit in front of my new wall, and it's quiet in here. Like I said, the boys are in the living room. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of chatty. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the time right now, and I've been talking for a while, but I just felt like I had to give you the backstory so you could understand, first of all, what a complete shock, but what a complete blessing that this is to our family. Again, we appreciate all of the prayers. I love you all. Hope you enjoy these next few clips of us telling some of our family about our sweet babies, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends. Rowdy's shirt that I ordered from Etsy got here today, and that's the name of the shop that I ordered it from. We're going to give him this tomorrow. Can't wait to see him open it. Look how sweet. I'm gonna wrap it up in a bag and tell him that I have something for him to open, and that's how we're gonna tell him that he's gonna be a big brother.
Oh, it's a soap.
Take it out.
Look it.
What does it say?
It says, I love Mommy.
Ask Daddy what it says.
What does it say?
What do you think it says? That says big bro.
For me?
For you. What's that mean?
Daddy's big.
Big brother.
For Daddy.
Mm. Are you gonna be a brother?
No,
Why?
it's not.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You know what?
I'm gonna be a brother to you.
No, you're gonna be a brother to your brother or sister.
Fine.
Because you're having one.
Fine. Think you'll buy me a brother tomorrow.
We ain't buying it.
Listen, Mommy's got a baby in my tummy.
Not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but guess what? There's not one baby. There's two babies
In your tummy now.
in my tummy
Right now.
right now.
Tell me about their names are.
What you up to, Rowdy man?
Tell her.
That on my red shirt. Oh, you're gonna be a big brother! Oh boy! Not just to one. Oh my God! You're gonna be a big brother to two. Oh my God!
That's what I said.
What does that shirt say? Oh! That is scary! Oh my God! Well, hold on.
That's who's gonna live with me.
That's who's gonna live with you. Yes. Hey, look at his shirt. Oh my goodness. What? Yeah. Emily. Yes. I know. I know.
You get
Doesn't run on anybody's side. This was all God. There's no for I don't even know how to speak anymore. I mean,
Big bro, huh? Oh my goodness.
Go show me.
Come here.
Tell her to come in. Wait. Tell her to come in.
Come here, Rowdy. Come here, Rowdy. Rowdy, come here.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I was hoping that's what it was. Hold on, it gets better. I've always wanted somebody to have twins. And I'm so glad it wasn't me. Oh my gosh, do you know this? You know if they're boy girl yet? No. Oh. We just found out there were two today. You're still breathing?
Yeah.
He's had time for it to sink in. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting.
We covet your prayers on our journey for my health and the health of our sweet babies, and I can't wait to bring you along on this exciting new adventure. I love you all, sweet friends, and I'll see you in the next one.
Better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever, and I feel so free. Oh, my sweet baby.